Alright, we're live on YouTube. What's up, everybody? So we are about to record the first episode of the Unknown Wrestling Podcast. So we just got to get a couple things kind of finished up and ready to go here. And then we'll rock and roll. So just bear with us for a second. You got it?
Yep.
Cool. Wish I could retweet it, but I don't feel like using my phone since my phone is using the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can do it from here real quick.
So I wonder what everybody thought of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was alright.
Some parts were good, some parts were not so good.
Yep. Yeah, we'll go into detail here in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not totally sure of my Twitter password. Boom! Oh, just kidding.
Wah, wah.
I don't know. Fuck it. Alright, I need this.
Isn't it the one thing?
Oh, yeah. My password is the one thing. I feel like an idiot looking like across my phone like this, but I'm trying to see the computer behind my phone for those wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing. Alright.
We're off to a bang already.
We are.
Yeah,
So the way we...
Does that mean we got one viewer?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably me.
Could be. So, for those watching live or later, the way we're doing this is like we're kind of just live streaming us recording the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of is, it's not just like, I don't know, it's not so much of like a live show as it is like us recording the podcast, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're going to record our podcast in different segments,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'll stop like the actual recording process, and then there'll be like other stuff that so you kind of get like a behind the scenes of the recording of it is how we do this
We're
kind
gonna
of thing.
pull the curtain back for you.
Yeah. So this is our first show, and I mean we've kind of got an outline to follow here, but we also are kind of just going to wing it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You want me to bring it in?
Sure.
Well, cheers, sir, to a new podcast. You don't even have a beer to cheers to. That's all right.
I've had plenty of beer this weekend.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of beer drink this weekend for sure.
I think I had like 10 last night. Just
Yeah.
piss off.
All right, let's roll.
All right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unknown Wrestling Podcast. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Brian.
and this is our debut episode, so hopefully this goes well, man. I'm really excited about doing this show. Like, I've been really excited, like, for the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
This came to be, what pay-per-view was it that we watched together where was it No Way Out?
Elimination
Chamber? It was Elimination Chamber. If after Elimination Chamber, like, I don't remember who came up with the idea. You came up with the idea?
You did.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we should do a wrestling podcast. And it was like, why didn't we have the idea to do a wrestling podcast a long time ago?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it was like 6 weeks away until WrestleMania.
Yeah, something like that.
So we were like, that's perfect. We'll do our first show after WrestleMania, so we'll be able to talk all about the biggest show of the year. And that will give us a little time to kind of get the show up and running. And I think it worked out pretty well. So even though it is almost 1 o'clock in the damn morning, because WrestleMania runs so long.
Yes, 7 hours.
7 hours total. That's too long. That's too much.
Started at 5, I believe.
The kickoff show started at 5, yeah. We tuned in at 5 o'clock today and watched until about midnight or so. So what we're going to do is here we're going to kind of get into the show. Uh, we're going to do our first segment's going to be kind of the undercard of WrestleMania. If you want to consider it the undercard, it's really not the undercard. It's just like the first half of WrestleMania. We're going to go chronologically through. And then we're going to do a segment where we're going to tell you about WrestleMania weekend, because there was a lot of cool stuff that went on this weekend other than just WrestleMania. So we want to talk about some of that stuff. Then we'll come back to it. We'll give you the second half of WrestleMania 34. And then we'll kind of close it down. We're going to tell you what we thought our favorite match of WrestleMania was and what our favorite match of WrestleMania weekend was. So we've got a bunch of stuff, so let's get into it.
Mm-hmm. I gotta stop saying a lot.
Having to look around my phone. I definitely got to find a better way to do that.
Can you put it over there, like by the Funkos?
Yeah, probably.
And just aim it towards us. Ugh, fucking last match was shitty.
See, that's exclusive for the live stream there. Before we
You
even
heard
get
it here,
started.
folks.
God, I'm sure everybody heard it everywhere. Fucking crowd up, and the only reason the crowd stopped chanting "This is awful" is because Roman Reigns started bleeding profusely.
Oh my god, yeah.
You like that angle? Or
Yeah.
which angle do you like better? This angle or right in
Well,
front?
this
angle?
one works better for you because it's not right in the way.
Okay.
I think it's good lighting
Yeah, it looks good.
since we're divas and everything.
Yeah, man, I'm good with it. I should fix my hair. Why didn't you tell me to
I don't
fix
have
my
any hair to fix.
We kind of have the same hair going, like right here.
I know.
They kind of match.
I was looking at
And the and the beard almost even too. I
Yeah.
didn't realize we had the same style going as much as we do.
I had my head down like this last night while we were doing the unknown pod,
Mm-hmm.
and like just like a big old fucking spot right
Yeah.
here.
I'm lucky I don't have that going on yet.
Yeah.
I'm still. It started going backwards now, but it's still still like
solid
nice and
on the
thick
top.
and shit. Yeah. Did not expect to have a hair conversation on our first episode. All right, so we're gonna start up.
All right.
We'll start with the pre-show because that's not actually on the list here,
Okay, we'll have to go by our sheets.
and then we'll get to the list. Yeah. So that is this one and these two.
And just so you know, we're doing these sheets, which are made by Pro Wrestling Scorecards on Twitter.
Yeah, at PW Scorecards. I can't say enough good things about those guys, and I want to say it on the podcast also.
Yes. So if you guys watch this and you want to do something for the next pay-per-view, this is a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. Compete with us.
It won me $35 tonight.
Yeah, we gotta make sure that we say that too. We'll talk about that there with the scorecard points,
Works.
because I want to tell people how we put money on it too, because that makes it fun.
I don't think we should do
Fuck
it for
you
every.
for winning. No,
pay-per-view.
not for every pay-per-view. No, I can't afford that.
Yeah. I was gonna say me neither, but I've won the last.
Well, yeah. Did you win Mania last year too?
Yeah.
And Rumble this year.
Two time.
So you're back-to-back Mania. I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, WrestleMania kicked off today at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, our time. And, I mean, just before we even get into any of the matches, that's too long.
It was very long.
It ends up being a 7-hour-long show. And, I mean, maybe if it was a better show, it'd be a little different. But by the time midnight rolls around, I mean, at least in my house, maybe it's different because we're old and tired. But, I mean, I feel like that's kind of... There's a lot of people in that same boat.
That last match, I was yawning like crazy.
Yeah, it was... Spoiler alert, the main event sucked ass.
Yes.
So we can just start and finish there. But, I mean... Nobody is surprised by that in the least bit. I mean, we knew what the main event was, and we knew that the two people that are wearing it sucked, and the main event was going to be
I could
crap.
do a whole episode on a Roman Reigns event.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put that in our show notes for ideas for later. All right, so the pre-show started. There was 3 matches on the pre-show, on the kickoff show. The kickoff show itself was just like any other kickoff show that they've ever done. Tons of promos for their own product, which just kind of gets annoying. But whatever, I get it. I know they're going to do that. What was the first match? The first match was the men's battle royal or the women's. Men's. It was the men's battle royal, then the cruiserweight, then the women's. I do believe.
Yeah, you're right.
So the men's battle royal
Was what it was.
yeah, it wasn't really anything entertaining. Do we want to go like through our scorecards also and say I think we should. We should go through our scorecard and say who we picked to win, and then we'll tell who actually did win. I did terrible on my scorecard this time, man. I was really disappointed in how bad I did. All right, so the first match was the men's battle royal. I picked Matt Hardy to win.
I also picked Matt Hardy.
And the winner was
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy. So we both got that one right. So I was like, cool, I'm off to a good start. I got 11 out of 17 points the way that one works. These the scorecards that we're using are from the Twitter account at PW Scorecards. And they put these together for every wrestling pay-per-view that there is, and they do a fantastic job on it. So for those that are listening, the way that it's set up on our scorecard, that we always print these out. We have a bunch of people over the house for WrestleMania. We all fill out the scorecards, who we think is going to win each match. But then, like for example, for the Battle Royal, there's extra questions such as first superstar eliminated, superstar with most eliminations, last superstar eliminated, and number of NXT superstar entrants. So there's a bunch of other stuff to get points on, not just picking the winner of the match. So that's how all of the questions throughout it work. Different questions on different matches, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
But we'll just go over who we picked to win. So we both picked Matt Hardy on that one. I mean, it was just another battle royal. There was nothing exciting about it. Nothing cool happened in the least bit, right?
Yeah, but it's basically how battle royals are. They're just kind of a jumbled mess.
They're just there, and like, yeah, they're never exciting. Nothing cool happens other than like, oh, he almost got thrown out, and that's just not cool.
Yeah,
it's boring, very boring. The second match, cruiserweight. They had a big tournament to crown the cruiserweight champion, I guess, right? And it was Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. I had picked Cedric Alexander.
I also picked Cedric Alexander.
And Cedric Alexander won.
I love his finisher. His finisher is so badass.
Which one was that?
The lumbar check, where he throws up in the air and then he comes down on his legs.
Agreed, yes. You were like, check this out on that one, right? That was that one, yeah. That was a very, very cool move. No doubt about it. I mean, it's just the smaller guys like that are just so much more entertaining at this point. Like, they're all doing some, like, really cool stuff. And, like, the big main event WWE guys they're all still doing the same crap.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little bit more entertaining to see, like, these little guys do some cool stuff like that. I like that. And then we had, what was next?
The women's battle royal.
And what do we got? I picked Sasha Banks on that one.
I picked Bayley.
And the winner was
Naomi.
Naomi, that's right.
Because she came in right because we all thought that Bayley won, and then like right at the end, Naomi came in like because she'd been hiding out on the mat on the floor, and then like everybody was out, and then she came in and eliminated Bayley.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid too.
Kind of pissed me off because I had Bayley to win. And
So you lost points. You thought you had the points, and then not so much.
I only got 3 for that one.
Yeah, 3 points for that one.
That was
same here.
I only got because the question is, does Bayley eliminate Sasha Banks? And I put yes.
Yeah,
and she did.
I got 3 points, but I got 3 points for last superstar eliminated. I said Bayley, so that was all I got. I mean, it made more sense for it to end in Sasha versus Bayley. I mean, that's kind of what everybody wanted to see. So I mean, I can't blame them for throwing a little swerve in there. Yeah. I'm not a Naomi fan by any means, though. I like Sasha. Bayley's all right.
Yeah.
So I wasn't excited. If it would have been somebody I liked that came in at the last second, I think I would have liked it more than I did. But Naomi she don't really do anything for me whatsoever. And that was it for the pre-show, right?
And those battle royals are just kind of pointless. Anyway.
They are. They're total throwaway. It's just a way to be able to include even more people in the show. Like, they keep making a big deal out of, like, how hard it is to get onto the WrestleMania card. It's like, but they keep adding so much stuff. There's 7 hours worth of matches. There's, 13 or 14 matches on this show. 2 battle royals with, I don't know, there was 15 or 20 people in each battle royal. I mean, there's a ton of people. I mean, who on the roster is not included on? I mean, I know there are some that obviously don't make it to it, but the amount of people that are on the WrestleMania card it's just way higher than it's ever been before.
Needless to say, a lot of people got a payday. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is true.
What one do you got next?
So then the main show started.
That was the Intercontinental title match.
That was.
So
the opening. What was the opening little video? I don't remember. Was it cool? Like once they like went live at 7 p.m. Was that was something, but I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was just talking about New Orleans and like the tradition and all that.
Let's talk about the stage real quick. I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought the stage was cool as hell. Like even when it was like just the cool looking like Mardi Gras mask type thing, it looked cool. But then like once like you saw the entrances with the videos like all worked into it and stuff, I think it's one of the coolest stages they've had in a long time.
I like the font of the WrestleMania. I thought that was cool.
It looked awesome. I totally agree. I loved it. Absolutely. Everything about it was extremely cool. So kudos to them for that one. Extremely cool stage. Very, very well done.
They need to reel back the stuff on the ring, though.
I totally agree with that.
Those effects are ridiculous.
I hate the big LCD or LED or whatever it is, big screen that they have on the one side, on the hard camera side. I hate the 10-foot thick post that's on there now with those stupid LEDs. The NXT show ring I thought looked better. Like I liked the aprons that they had for the NXT ring for that one. I liked the wraps they had around the post with the NXT logos on it.
Me too.
I mean, I thought that looked way better than the WWE or than the WrestleMania ring did.
I agree.
I guess that's low budget versus high budget, and we prefer the low budget look is how it kind of is. Maybe
we're also a little more old fashioned than the current generation.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think the way that they utilize the screens and stuff that are on the ring, I don't think it does any good. Like it's essentially just a really expensive high-tech ring apron. Like it doesn't, I mean, I know it does kind of show their wrestlers' logos when they come down and stuff, but that's useless. I don't think that...
Like you could see it anyway with the cameraman tonight. He was horrible by ringside.
There was a lot of lately there's been a lot of bad camera work in WWE. There really has been. And the thing that I hate the worst, and we're already getting sidetracked, but whatever. The thing that I hate the worst is like when they throw like the quick punches and they feel the need to like zoom in, zoom out, and like zoom in every single time a punch is thrown. Or like they switch camera angles real quick. This camera, that camera, this camera, that camera. Which essentially means you can't fucking see anything that happens. The camera angle changes so much you don't actually get to see any of the punches or the kicks or whatever it is land. I hate it. And it's something that they've obviously started them implementing and love fucking doing because they do it like crazy. And I hate it. I hate every second of it.
Yep. I agree.
All right, cool. That's our We Hate Wrestling rant.
And we're doing a wrestling podcast.
What a great way to start a wrestling podcast.
Absolutely.
Listen to us bitch about wrestling.
All right, let's go to the
Intercontinental. Yeah, so Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Miz was the champion going into it. What do you think?
I had Rollins to win it, and he won it.
Where is this on the card? There it is. Yeah, I had Finn Balor.
I got all of them right except one, and the question was Miz Taraj removed or banned from ringside. Miz told him to go back, so I guess supposedly, according to PW scorecards, it wasn't official.
Yeah, which I know pissed you off because it ruined your perfect score for that one. But I mean,
That's okay.
the wording is specifically from ringside, and they
Right.
never made it off of the stage before he told them to go back. So I get that one.
Yeah.
But it does feel good to get a perfect score on a match. So bummer you didn't get that.
Oh well.
Yeah. I picked Finn Balor. I just thought like it'd be a cool way to put him over a little bit more. But then once I thought about it, of course Seth Rollins is going to win. That's just what WWE does. Seth Rollins wins all the time. I don't like Seth Rollins. The way you feel about Roman Reigns, I feel about Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I don't know, but he did do a really cool frog splash in this match. Seth Rollins did.
Yeah, he got a lot of height on
it
that.
was one of the coolest,
Holy
like
cow.
highest. Yeah, I mean it was a really cool thing. Other than that, I don't really remember a whole lot sticking out in that match. I know my kid and myself even a little bit was kind of upset that Finn Balor did not come out as what is it, the
Demon.
The Demon.
He's due. It's been a while since he has.
That's why I thought, like, yeah, I mean, it's freaking WrestleMania, but I don't know. So that was kind of disappointing that he didn't do that, because that's a really cool gimmick. I like that a lot. I like Finn Balor regardless, but I definitely like the Demon thing. That's a really cool thing.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was pretty much it for that match. Next up, this one was a surprise that this was the second match of the night, I thought.
Yeah.
The second match was Charlotte Flair defending her SmackDown Women's belt against Asuka, who, up until this match, had been undefeated for 915 days, I think they said.
Yep. 256 and 0 is what that says right there.
Oh, yeah, right there it is, yeah. That is really impressive. So, I mean, if you're going to lose your first match, I mean, it should be against the champion at WrestleMania. So that's what happened, and not one of us got points for that one because we all picked Asuka. That was just the obvious choice here.
And you didn't like Charlotte's entrance, am I right?
Liz didn't like
Okay.
Charlotte's entrance. I missed the beginning of her entrance.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but what I saw of it, I just missed the very beginning of it. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one. When we get to the end and we want to talk about best match of the night, let's throw in best entrance of the night once we get there as well. Because I definitely know mine. This match, yeah, I was really surprised that it came so quickly on the card. I really thought that this could have been like one of the main matches of the night, especially compared to the other women's title match of Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. I thought that match definitely should have came before this one. This match was way more important than that match. That match was just thrown together at the last minute. So, but Asuka lost, and that sucks because I really like Asuka a lot.
I do
But
too. We'll have to explain how we do the Royal Rumble at some point.
yeah,
But she won me $40 at Royal Rumble.
yeah. So of course you like her a lot.
Yeah. She's cute too.
Yeah, for sure. And she is she's very unorthodox, and I like the weird things she does. I like her weird, extremely weird promos that she cuts.
Me too.
I like everything about her. I mean, I think she's the perfect thing for what the WWE is trying to do with their women's division now. I think she's a great asset to that. But Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair, so I think it was still a good way to show that Charlotte Flair is like the ultimate badass, that she can and did beat the Streak. So
I thought the match told a good story. Like towards the end, Charlotte was getting frustrated and she was kind of getting like teary-eyed and like, what do I got to do to get beat her?
And I really liked their exchange after it was over. Like they had like a big hug, and like I mean it seemed like very sincere that they were both happy to be able to kind of share that moment together and have a good quality match like that. My only complaint is I think it should have been later in the card. I think the end of the card really lacked, so I think having this towards the end would have helped it not drag on as much as it did at the end if you would have had something like this to still look forward to. But instead, they just got it out of the way on the second match.
Yeah.
What was next?
Bobby Roode versus Rusev versus Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship.
Randy Orton coming in as the champion. It was Rusev Day, So
Every day is Rusev Day.
You like Rusev? What's your thoughts on Rusev?
I don't know. I like him more now than I did when he first came in because he's got more of a character.
Yeah.
Before he was just kind of like, oh, Rusev Smash.
Rusev Smash, yeah, totally.
But now he's more entertaining.
Yeah. I like Rusev. I think he has a future.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe a little bit more of a character development, but like you said, it seems like they're working on that now. So I
don't like the dude that comes out with him.
Agreed, totally. I mentioned this during Mania when we were all watching it. I'm totally over the hype man that comes out before the wrestler and does his whole little spiel and everything like that. I'm almost to the point where with WWE in general, I'm really tired of all of the microphone work that happens from the time they come out of the curtain until they get to the ring. Because some of them, like the New Day and shit, is 20 goddamn minutes long, and but especially the dude with Rusev, what is his name?
Aiden English.
Yeah, he's extremely annoying. There's nothing about him that I like at all.
No.
I wish Lana was just still coming out with Rusev because I like her.
Best Lana number 1. You ever seen that for the Mixed Match Challenge?
Yeah. Well, okay, so this match I really had no personal interest in, right? Did you?
No.
No. I wanted Bobby Roode to win, and I thought that Bobby Roode would win. Who did you have?
I had Roode.
You had Roode as well. So we were both wrong. Jinder Mahal won, and he doesn't do anything for me, so I wasn't excited for him to win at all. So then it came time for so John Cena had one of the best moments at WrestleMania at this point during the show because it was freaking ridiculous. So he was sitting at ringside because he didn't have anybody to fight at WrestleMania, so he was just going to be a fan and watch WrestleMania,
which he did,
and he did, and it was an entertaining thing. And to think about being the people that were in the crowd that was sitting around where he was sitting had to just be the coolest thing in the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We saw him recording videos and stuff. He was probably working his ass off while he was sitting out there. He probably made a lot of people's days sitting out there. We turned it into a drinking game because they kept showing him, and we're they need to quit showing him. It became too much, and we're all right, let's change it up. Every time they showed Cena in the crowd, everybody drinks. So that's what we did, and it got us through a couple beers, I think. So then a referee came down to the ring, down to the ring. This was at the end of the Charlotte match is when this was, because Charlotte was still walking up the
He went over
ramp
to his seat and was whispering in his ear.
Yeah, the ref comes out to Cena, says something to him. Cena's like, huh? And he jumps the rail to get to ringside, and he just
darts towards the back,
sprints up the ramp and to the backstage, which caused for a lot of really funny memes on Twitter. My favorite was the people were coming up with things that the referee said to Cena that made him run that way. And my favorite was that there was a buy one get one free on jean shorts. So that, I mean, I literally really laughed out loud at that one. That was hilarious. Funny. That was my favorite one that I saw. But I'm looking forward to more memes of John Cena hauling ass out of the arena. All right, so then let's see, we gotta go back up, right? Did we do this? Did we cover all this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jinder Mahal won, so whatever. All right, up next. All right, so next one was a really big one. What was the next one? You read that one.
Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
So, I mean, obviously this was one that everybody was looking forward to see whether or not Ronda Rousey can wrestle.
Yeah.
And that if she belongs in wrestling. I mean, it went way better than I ever expected it to go. It was really entertaining from start to finish. It was an extremely entertaining match. I thought the way they did everything was great.
It surprised me. I didn't have high hopes for it going in.
No. I mean, we just kind of all assumed that we knew what it would be. With Kurt Angle not really wrestling anymore, Rousey making her appearance. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected anything that great from it.
And you knew that Triple H and Kurt were going to do most of the work.
Yeah.
Which they kind of did.
They kind of did. I, I, I mean, it went really well. I think Ronda Rousey. I feel a couple of her moves, especially at the beginning, were kind of sloppy.
Yes.
But my wife, like, she kind of disagreed with me. She kind of thought that like Steph wasn't kind of doing well with it either, and that was why the moves weren't working. So I mean, that's a good possibility. Steph isn't an established wrestler by any means, so. But I think Ronda Rousey looked good. I think she has potential. I mean, she's obviously new, but I think it could go well. So let's see. Who did
Lots
you?
of potential for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is this one at on our card? Who did you have? I had Angle and Rousey win.
I also had Angle and Rousey.
And Angle and Rousey did win.
I think everybody had them except Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a pretty obvious pick. Rousey ain't going to lose her first match. That would be kind of silly.
I almost had that perfect too, except for I put pin instead of submission.
Gotcha.
And she.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had. Me and you both got 14 out of 17 points on that one. And like an idiot, we picked pin. Obviously, it was going to be a damn armbar that won the match.
Yeah.
That was a
That
huge mistake.
That throw she does, though, I like that.
Yeah. Yep. I think Steph did a fantastic job during this match. I love Steph. I love Stephanie McMahon. I think she does a really good job at
She's a good heel.
at this.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. At doing this kind of stuff, I feel like she does a really good job. Maybe she doesn't do a great job running a wrestling company. Sometimes.
Her voice is kind of annoying at times.
Yeah, but I love her. I love Steph. So that was a great match. Really, really, really great match. I think it surprised I think everybody that watched WrestleMania agreed. Like, I don't think there was like really hardly anybody that I saw on Twitter that was like, that match sucked. Like, it seemed like everybody was like, wow, holy shit, that was awesome.
And I kind of got excited when they tagged her in. I was like, okay, all hell's gonna break loose now.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool match. All right, let's see. All right, so that's that for this part. We're going to kind of move on, and we're going to talk about WrestleMania weekend, and we're going to do that now. Just like Howdy Radio, I'm not very good at the transitions. Although I feel like the show is good and going well, though.
Me too.
Yeah, yes. Alright, so WrestleMania weekend.
And no issues with the YouTube.
Not yet. Knock on wood. Alright. You bring this one in. I brought in the other two parts.
Alright, so what are we? This one's gonna be
WrestleMania weekend. So we can talk about Impact versus Lucha. We'll talk about Shimmer.
Okay.
NXT. And that, I think that was really the only ones that we watched.
Yeah.
I watched part of the Kenny Omega match, but I didn't get to watch the whole thing.
Scorecard.
So that's what we've got to talk about. NXT, I guess, being the main takeaway. All right.
Now, WrestleMania wasn't the only thing that happened this weekend, obviously. There was also some very good independent wrestling.
And some good low-level WWE wrestling. Is it low-level? Is that the way to... That's not the way to... What is the right word? The development?
Yeah, developmental...
Yeah. Because the show that they put on, obviously, was not low-level by any means. We'll get there in a minute. All right, so Friday night was the start of it. We had like a bunch of different indie shows that we wanted to check out this weekend. We weren't able to quite check out all of them that I wanted to watch. There just wasn't enough time in the weekend to watch them all, to be honest with you. But Friday night was one that I was really looking forward to. That was Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground. I love Lucha Underground. It's one of my favorite wrestling feds out there right now.
Now, I didn't get to watch as much of that as you did.
Yeah.
I only saw maybe 3 or 4 matches of that, so you probably should explain that a little better.
Yeah,
go into more detail.
It was live on Twitch. There's a bunch of these things, as we're kind of getting into more of these different feds and stuff. Like, there's a lot of it that's live on Twitch, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So that one was one I was really looking forward to because of Lucha Underground. And there was, I mean, I kind of can't really pinpoint like who wrestled who. Like, I don't really remember it quite like that. I know there was one match that I was really looking forward to, which was Ohio versus Everything. They are Dave and Jake Christ. They are in Impact. They have been Impact Tag Team Champions before. I don't really watch Impact. I don't watch Impact at all. I have not watched it in years and years and years. But I watched those guys in a fed called HWA, Heartland Wrestling Association. It was a local fed here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I used to go to that show every week. It was like in this tiny little place. There was like maybe 30 to 50 people there every week, tops. And I watched those guys wrestle when they first got started. And Dean Ambrose was one of the ones that was there too. He was John Moxley back then. So I like seeing the guys that like I watched when they first started, and I like to still be fans of them. So they were on this card, and that was very exciting. And they were fighting Teddy Hart, who we watched on Wrestle Circus a couple weeks ago, and he did a lot of really cool stuff on that show. So I was excited to see him again. But his tag team partner was Scott Steiner. And who booked this fucking thing by throwing Scott Steiner into a match with like three other like
up and coming.
Yeah. And like guys that like do some really cool like innovative stuff, and then here's Scott Steiner who can barely walk to the fucking ring.
He does a Boston Crab.
He does a Boston Crab. So of course he stayed outside of the ring for most of the match.
Obviously.
It was Teddy Hart worked like the whole damn match until the hot tag at the end, and then here comes Scott Steiner, punch, 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 Steiner recliner, and it's over. It was like, what? Damn. I was so disappointed that the team that I really wanted to see was a part of.
He didn't cut a promo, did he?
No, he didn't hardly talk at all, no. I saw a really funny thing on Twitter. They had at the WWE Fan Access thing that went on this weekend in New Orleans. One thing that they had set up was like a green screen where you could cut a promo, and like the green screen behind you would just be like whatever it looks like where Raw cuts their promos backstage or whatever, which would be super fun. And this guy, or no, it was on Reddit. This guy recreated the Scott Steiner, infamous Scott Steiner promo, and he nailed it. Like, he said every single word to that stupid ass Scott Steiner promo, and he said every word for word. It was hilarious. So that was cool. So that was kind of Lucha Underground. That was a fun show because I love watching them guys. So the next day, Saturday, I wanted to watch the Pancakes and Pile Drivers. Yeah.
When is the Lucha Underground starting back up?
Oh yeah, they announced that season 4 starts. I think it's like June 13th, I believe it was. I might not be exactly correct on that, but I remember it was right around in there. Yeah, so season 4 of that will start on El Rey Network.
That last season finale they did was out of this fucking world.
Absolutely. One of the best wrestling shows that's happened in a while. That was so good. Every match on that card was fantastic, especially the first match. I loved the first match the most. So I'll definitely be watching that. Saturday, I wanted to watch Pancakes and Pile Drivers 2. That was on at like noon, and my kid had a soccer game, so that totally screwed up me being able to watch that. And I heard that there was a couple really good matches on that one. So then we watched, at 5 o'clock on Saturday, we watched Shimmer. It was my first time watching a Shimmer show. It was Shimmer 100. And I'm not going to lie, my main reason for wanting to watch it was because of Tessa Blanchard.
I was about to say that.
Of course, I'll say it. I don't care. I'm obsessed with Tessa Blanchard. She's awesome. She's just such a damn good wrestler, and I like that she's a Blanchard because I really liked Tully Blanchard when I was a kid. She just seems like a very, very, very cool person. I like her a lot. I don't know what it is, but so I've been kind of following her. I discovered her on Wrestle Circus a little while back, and I've just kind of been wanting to watch everything she does lately. So I was like, that's a good way to check out Shimmer, watch one of these different ones. So I bought it. First time I bought one of their shows, it was $15, and I get the live version, and then I get unlimited video on demand of it anytime I want to watch it now. So I paid to watch that. I think it's a good. I like being able to support the smaller indie guys. They're down in New Orleans, just like Mania is running all of these shows out of WrestleCon, Which, side note, I really want to go to WrestleCon. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. We should try. We should save our money and go to the one next year in New York and do a podcast from there.
That would be the coolest thing in the world. Yes.
I agree.
Let's
make
see.
it happen.
God, it costs so damn much money. Let's see. What were we talking about? Shimmer. Shimmer was a good show. I mean, it wasn't great, but there was a couple good, entertaining matches on it. The Tessa Blanchard match was good. She lost. That kind of sucked. I would have liked to have seen her win the belt. But I felt like the last few matches on the card were really good, entertaining matches. Not really anybody I knew. Shimmer is all women, if you don't know that. It's an entire all-women federation, which is cool.
And they're part of the WWN, which is like a big conglomerate of other promotions too?
No, not of promotions. No, it's just like a WWE network for all of a bunch of different indie feds.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So, like, you can watch Shimmer on there, you can watch Evolve on there, you can watch just all kinds of different ones.
I know you were telling me there was more feds than just Shimmer.
Yeah.
It's associated with them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember who they were.
And then I think they also have, like, a subscription type service as well. I didn't even really look into that because I just wanted to buy Shimmer. But I think there is like a subscription service to where then you can watch like all of the shows like as they happen, which might be something we want to look into if we want to watch some more of that kind of stuff, which I do.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Shimmer, definitely fun. It was a cool show. I'm glad I watched it. I didn't regret spending my $15 on it. So, but that was cool. But then came the NXT show, NXT Takeover New Orleans, and I mean that was holy shit, from start to finish, literally, like from the first match, from when it started until the last, it was just insane. What are you looking at?
I was seeing if our NXT scorecards were down here somewhere.
I threw them away. I'm sorry. So it started off with a ladder match, which was insane.
For the new North American Championship.
Yeah, which is a belt that doesn't look like a McDonald's Happy Meal, as you put earlier. Yeah, very cool looking belt. I love it a lot. I think it reminds me of like a Japanese
it's old
belt.
school. It looks retro. Like
yeah,
good ones.
Yes. Yeah, WWE's belts now are they're so terrible looking.
They're all the same.
They are.
Oh my god.
They're terrible, for sure. So this show, the ladder match was fantastic.
Yes.
I wish we did have our scorecard because I'm not good at remembering the NXT's people's names. But I mean, it was just, it was crazy how good the show was. Just such high energy. Like, these guys they're doing moves that never get done in the WWE. Like, WWE, they have, everybody considers it, the WWE style. And the WWE style has became pretty boring. But the NXT style is not the same as the WWE style, and they're to the point where I think NXT might be more entertaining than WWE, and that's just, I don't know what that says about them.
So the ladder match for the NXT North American Championship had Adam Cole defeat Velveteen Dream, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, and Ricochet.
Yeah, and I learned during this match, Taggart here told me that Ricochet was Prince Puma in Lucha Underground, which I didn't know.
EC3 was also in Impact.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He was Dixie Carter's kayfabe nephew or son or something.
Okay, gotcha.
I haven't watched Impact in a long time.
Yeah,
but
once I learned that Ricochet is Prince Puma, I wanted him to win because I liked him a lot in Lucha Underground.
I picked EC3, but Adam Cole obviously won.
Yeah, Adam Cole won. I don't remember who I had picked. I had Killian Dane picked because he was one of the ones that I knew, and I like Killian Dane, but he was the big guy of the match.
Yes.
So he definitely did not shine in this match the way that all the other people did, doing their crazy flips off ladders and shit like that.
I think we should just go skim through this real quick.
Yeah, fantastic ladder match. And then what was there?
NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon, which I thought was a good match.
Also a good match. Yeah, I like Ember Moon.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
She lost to Shayna Baszler, and Baszler made her tap out, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a good match. I mean, nothing crazy good, but still a very good quality match.
I agree. Next one was the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, which had the Undisputed Era retain their NXT Tag Team Championship because Roderick Strong turned on Pete Dunne at the end.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
Yes.
Very awesome match.
I like Pete Dunne. I have not watched him wrestle before last night.
I don't know that I have either.
So, next was the NXT Championship main event. Aleister Black defeats Andrade, I'm going to butcher this, Cien Almas.
Yeah.
And Aleister Black obviously beat Almas for the NXT Championship.
That was a killer match.
Yes, it was very, very good.
And it was insanely good, yes.
And that was it?
No,
I'm sorry.
Then there was the unsanctioned match.
Unsanctioned match.
Yeah, because the title match was not the last match. The unsanctioned match, which I made my feelings perfectly clear about how much I hate unsanctioned match. I hate the term. I just hate everything about it. But the match itself
was amazing.
Yeah, probably the best match on the show.
It was Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
And Johnny Gargano won, and he got to keep his job at NXT.
Yeah.
Or get his job back at NXT, I should say.
So, I mean, if you wanna throw the word around that everybody likes to throw around to like talk about a really good wrestling match is the storytelling of it. I mean, you want to talk about good storytelling in a wrestling match, like that was like the pinnacle of it, man. Like it was two guys that like used to be tag team partners, and I mean we've seen that angle done a billion times before, but the way it all played out and the way they handled this match, and then the way at the end where the way they ended the match with like they almost like made it seem like they felt bad for fighting each other, and it was like, what, like this is weird, like and then it was almost like, no, this is a terrible finish, stupid WWE finish. But then, like, it ended up being a good finish. So it was just the one guy kind of playing the other guy to get the win on it, and I think it was very well done.
It's I liked it. They just two guys beat the shit out of each other. Like the Ciampa guy his eye was all swollen.
Yeah.
And then the finisher was STF, and he used the neck brace. And he just instantly tapped.
Yeah. The one dude took a power bomb on the concrete outside.
Oh my god, yeah.
But, I mean, I can't say enough good about that NXT show, man. I mean, from start to finish, all the matches were really
Johnny
good
Gargano
matches.
is amazing.
I will for sure be keeping up with NXT more than what I do now. I feel like I'm missing out on some stuff.
Did you watch the one match with him and Almas for that NXT Championship? It was a couple months ago. It was before Elimination Chamber, I believe.
No, I don't think I did.
I think you told me about it, actually.
Oh, well then I did.
It was really good.
Anyway. Yes. I forgot about that. Yes. One thing is, like, I mean, I want to make kind of clear on our podcast here is that, like, I mean, we both love wrestling. We've both been watching wrestling for a very, very, very long time in our lives, and we're going to cover that on the next episode. But, I mean, disclaimer, like, we don't know everything, and, like, we don't know everybody's name. We don't know, like, everybody who they used to be in another fed and stuff. We've been WWE fans for a long time, but, like, a lot of these other indie feds, like, we're kind of just getting into and just kind of learning about them. So, like, I mean, we don't know everybody, and that's perfectly okay by me. And as we keep doing the podcast and as we keep watching stuff, like, we'll kind of educate ourselves more. And if you're listening or watching and there's, like, people you're like, oh, you should check this out. Like, I mean, I'd love recommendations, and we will check it out. So, I mean, full disclaimer, like, we don't claim to be, like, the knower of all things wrestling. Like, we know what we know, and I mean, but that's not everything. So
this podcast is strictly from a fan perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not in the industry. We don't have connections to anybody.
We don't have their money.
Yeah, we're doing it for fun because it's something that we like to do.
It's a shared interest between the two of us.
Yeah, and I just want to make it perfectly clear. Like, I'm not trying to come off as like some super know-it-all guy whatsoever. Because I mean, I don't. Neither one of us do. Neither one of us know it all. So, there might be, like, some people it's like, oh, how did you not know that was going to be the match of the night? Those two, like, well, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't. So, but damn, that was a great card. NXT was fantastic. It blew me away. It left me thinking once it was over that there is absolutely no way that WrestleMania can top that, and I don't think it did.
I don't think
So
it did either.
we'll get back to that in a minute. Well, I think that was it for our WrestleMania weekend. Today I checked out a little bit of the Kenny Omega versus Cody match from ROH Super
watched
Card
that.
of Honor 12. It's on my Plex. The whole card is on my Plex, the whole show. It's like 4.5 hours long. But that was the one match that I really wanted to see from that one. But again, with time, like I started the match and then realized I didn't have enough time to watch the whole damn thing, so I kind of like skipped most of it. And I wanted to see the finish because I wanted to know who won because I knew that Twitter was going to spoil it for me soon. So I love Kenny Omega and I love Cody too. I think they're both doing like some really cool stuff. And from what I saw, it was a good match, but I didn't get to see the whole thing, so I really can't.
You know, it's funny too. Like with Cody Rhodes, like when he was in WWE, like he didn't really do much.
No, but I mean, I think that's a shining example of WWE misusing someone.
Right.
Because he's came into this whole Bullet Club situation, and he's inserted himself in that, and he's put himself at the top of that, going against Kenny Omega, who is arguably the best wrestler in the fucking world right now. There's a lot of people that feel that way. And I mean, they've come up with a great feud. Like, the feud for this match was awesome. They're, like, fighting for, like, supremacy of the Bullet Club, and the Bullet Club is a better faction than anything that the WWE has right now.
They're super popular.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a great example of somebody that could never really make it past mid-card in WWE. They can go to these other things and they can work Japan and ROH and all of this different stuff, and they can main event that shit and put on some damn good matches.
It's the WWE machine keeping you down.
I mean, it's exactly what it is. And it's a shame that it's Cody Rhodes, because, I mean, he should be given the world to do with what he wants to do with. But
yeah, especially with his lineage and
Exactly.
third generation wrestler.
Absolutely.
Or second, I guess, because
Yeah.
Dustin is his brother.
Yeah.
It's late.
But you know what? At the same time, like, part of me is like, you know, I like seeing these guys like not be in WWE anymore and go
Right.
do something else. Like, hopefully, like, eventually, like, because that shit's gonna keep happening. Like, these indie feds are all like, they're starting to make names for themselves, and people are like really starting to check out Japan and stuff like that. Like, New Japan is doing really, really well right now, all considering. They are the second biggest wrestling fed in the United States, and they don't even do shows in the United States. But that's how popular they are with what they're doing. They do more buy rates than Impact does, ROH does, hands down. So that's another one that I'm trying to kind of get into more is Japan.
Yeah.
And that kind of all started recently with the Jericho and Omega match.
Yeah.
Like, I had to watch that shit. I love Jericho.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
too.
and they built that shit up and they delivered, man. Like, that was a hell of a good match.
So Kingdom 12, was that the name of it?
Yeah, yep.
That was
Also on my
amazing.
Plex. Yeah,
If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out
yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. It's just that whole style of wrestling in Japan. Like, it's so much different than what WWE does. It reminds me so much more of like the late 80s NWA stuff that I grew up with the more technical, the slower paced, and it kind of builds as it goes and stuff. The WWE, if they start with a slow pace, then it's just, fuck it. This match is stupid. And even, I think the AJ Styles match tonight suffered from that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I think New Japan is pulling that stuff off pretty well from what I've seen so far. So that was it, WrestleMania weekend, right? I think the different indies. So, all right, so let's hop back and let's finish off our WrestleMania discussion.
All right, let me scratch. 'Cause this...
We're coming up on an hour on the dealie over here.
Should be about near that for the actual pod.
Mm-hmm. Which would be perfect. I like an hour.
Right.
Unknown pod is too goddamn long for anybody else to listen to.
What was it the last night or the night before?
About 2 hours. The live stream itself was like exactly like 10 seconds under 2 hours or something. So once we cut out all the shit, little bit less, but. All right, second half of WrestleMania. Let's do it.
All right, so we so the next one is shit. The next one is first before we start it back up, so we know where to start from. New Day versus Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers.
Bring this one in.
All right, so second half of the WrestleMania.
I hit record first.
Oh,
Oh man,
it threw me off. God
Arf.
damn it.
I do that shit to Lane all the time. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Oh well. Are you ready?
Rare. All right, so part 2 of our WrestleMania review, prediction, extravaganza, spectacular.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so it's
New Day versus the Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers for, what is that, the SmackDown tag belts?
yes,
Yeah. Who was the champs coming into this one?
Usos.
Usos, yeah. And the winners were,
The Bludgeon Brothers.
yeah,
Who I had.
yeah, I did not.
I
It was so stupid. There was a couple different times on here tonight on our scorecards where, like, it was just so obvious, like, once I was watching it, of who was going to win. Like, even once I started, like, watching the promos again, maybe I guess I need to pay better attention. That's my problem.
I got all but one question on this, and that was the folding tables.
Yeah.
I had 2, and they didn't have any.
Out of 20 possible points on this one, this was definitely where I was like, well, I don't think I stand a chance on this scorecard. I got 3 out of 20 points. I got 3 points because somebody pinned somebody. So terrible, man. So terrible. I was so disappointed in. Oh man.
I thought it was a decent match for what it was.
Yeah, not a
It
bad
was
match,
A short match.
Yeah,
Shorter than.
I like the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
I think they're a cool tag team. So
If you don't know, Bludgeons are Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. They were with the Wyatt or Bray Wyatt.
yeah,
So
I always like the Wyatt family. I still love Bray Wyatt. I wish they were doing so much more with him than what they are.
we should have mentioned that during the Battle Royal that he came out
That's
with
right.
Matt Hardy.
We can rewind there. Yeah, they did a little thing together. Bray Wyatt came out and kind of helped Matt Hardy win that Battle Royal. So we'll have to see what they do together.
Yeah. I have not watched that thing at the compound that they did.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
to
I
watch
did.
that.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I
know
heard
that.
it was really, really good.
Gotcha.
He had a shirt on the night that said "mower of lawn" because of it, the whole lawnmower thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
That is hilarious. Yeah, so I like the Bludgeon Brothers. I'm good with them being the champs.
Me too.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
think
it was a good match. I didn't dislike that match, but I don't know. It's just WWE and tag team matches and their tag team division as a whole at this point, and we'll get there even more so in the other tag team match later on. But I don't know. They just don't have a deep tag team division, and
I mean,
maybe they're getting there. Maybe there's more than I even realized. But
here's my issue. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. If you count the Battle Royals, there's 5 matches that have more than 2 competitors in it.
yeah, that's too many.
That's ridiculous.
I agree. Triple threats and 4-way dances and stuff, and I like I said with the Battle Royals, that it's still just another way to get more people on the card.
Yeah.
And those matches are never as damn good. When there's more people involved like that, it usually makes for not as good of a match if it would just be a one-on-one type situation.
It's because they don't have storylines and they just throw people in together.
Yeah, exactly. The tag team division it's not great. It's really not.
It's more than it was a couple years ago.
For
though.
sure, yeah.
It's-
Because I mean, we went some WrestleManias back a little while ago where they didn't even defend the damn tag team title at WrestleMania.
Right.
And so at least now we have 2 tag team title matches on WrestleMania. That's how it should be. If they've got belts, they should be defended at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So at least they are doing that, definitely.
No, that one was the unexpected.
So tell us what happened there.
So like we said earlier, John Cena came in as a fan. The referee came out to the stand and started whispering in his ear. We thought he was going to get jean shorts. So anyway, John Cena came back out in his gear,
Ready to wrestle.
ready to go. And lights go out, and out comes Elias, and which
With his fucking guitar
and his
and
stupid
he's singing
grandma
and-
blouse on.
I don't like him. He annoys me. I don't.
I like his wrestling. I don't
Okay.
particularly care for his. I mean, if I wish some aspects of his gimmick was different.
Yeah.
I don't like the outfits. They're stupid.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he comes out and plays guitar.
Yeah.
and
I agree with that. Yeah.
he's a good wrestler for sure.
I
I've
guess
seen
I
him.
haven't really paid attention enough to his wrestling.
Well, I mean, the only other match I think we've saw together was the Elimination Chamber with him in it, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
basically a squash.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elias came out and he's like, "Oh, you weren't the one, or I wasn't the one you were expecting," and
Yeah.
so John Cena basically beat the crap out of him, and then.
Yeah.
As he was walking back up the ramp, out come the Undertaker. Surprise!
Well, before we get to
surprise.
the Undertaker, I do feel like, though, as far as the WWE writing goes, like, if you want to give, like, a wrestler heat, like, have them come out when everybody wanted the Undertaker to come out. Like, if you want to give somebody heat, that's a great way to give somebody heat, the way he came out. So, I feel like, as a heel job, like, I think it helped him by coming out and doing what he did tonight.
He
Even though it
definitely got
was-
heat for sure.
Yeah. So then comes the Undertaker.
And they have a match, which surprised me. I didn't think he was going to show, actually.
Yeah, I did. I figured why build up to it if he wasn't going to be there. But then when you saw Elias, you were probably like, I told you so. But I mean, I did. I thought Undertaker would be there.
It's not on the sheet, so I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It was not.
expected
Yeah,
at all.
it was not an announced match for sure. But I mean, it was. I don't know. The match was kind of exactly what you expect it to be, I guess. The Undertaker. It wasn't a very long match. The Undertaker did all of his moves that.
That was it, really, because John Cena had like no offense.
Yeah, really. Yeah, not hardly anything whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena made me laugh once when he was running up against the ropes while the Undertaker was down, and then like as he was springing to come back, the Undertaker did his cool little sit up thing that the Undertaker does, and Cena was just like abort plan, basically. Like he just kind of like fell to the ground,
Boing.
like instead of running towards the Undertaker, and he kind of had the oh my god look on his face. I
Shit.
praised Cena is what I just did, believe it
Wow.
or not. But
You heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
Probably the only time you'll ever hear it.
Probably. I don't know. I mean, well, I don't know. John Cena sitting in the crowd tonight. John Cena, I feel like he did a good job at this WrestleMania. Like, I didn't dislike John Cena at this WrestleMania.
I liked his last couple promos he's done on Raw with the
Yeah.
Undertaker. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I can get more on board with John Cena as long as he's not playing the Superman role of winning every match always. Like, oh, I came back in the Rumble and won. Like, there's so many times where I got so mad at John Cena
yeah.
winning. So, you know, if we're going to kind of throw him down to the mid card and let him do some stuff, like, I don't know, maybe he can be entertaining. And
What was that one pay-per-view we watched, and maybe it was that Royal Rumble, he came out.
it was the Royal Rumble.
Well, he was 30?
He came out at 30 at the Royal Rumble and won the
And-
fucking thing, and I was so fucking
We
mad.
were so pissed.
Oh my god.
I'm going to have a fucking cigarette.
I was so fucking pissed.
That's when we smoked, but
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. That pissed me off so much. Cena's pissed me off quite a few times. Like, I mean, obviously I get Cena. The kids fucking love Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's great for business. I understand that.
that
but
dude's made a lot of money. I gotta give him credit for doing something right.
no doubt. He's the modern day Hulk Hogan. I can't. Well, I say I can't hate on him, but I do because I can. But oh well. What else?
You'll notice a trend. He hates John Cena. I hate John Cena too.
Yeah.
But I despise Roman Reigns, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that here and there.
We'll do the
as
I
we
Hate
go
Roman
along.
Reigns show here soon.
If you listen to the Unknown podcast and you've heard Smoothie's Nintendo rant,
Yeah.
it'll be something like that, but
Yep.
probably less Fireball. But anyways,
Yeah. Or maybe more Fireball.
or maybe more.
Maybe we need more Fireball.
You
on the
never
show.
know.
There you go.
Um,
All right, up next was a big one. Everybody was looking forward to Daniel Bryan returning for his first match in 3 years, right?
Yes.
I think they said 3 years. Hellman Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I mean, I like everybody involved in this match.
do too.
All four of these people are always entertaining. But of course, Daniel Bryan coming back is the big takeaway here. And I think he looked great. Everything he did tonight. It seems like he didn't kind of go too crazy with it. Like, I mean, he didn't do a whole lot of crazy stuff. I mean, he's not really I don't know. A good first match back. A really good first match back, I thought.
It was kind of because they both came out to the ring, and then Kevin and Sammy sneak attacked them, and then they started carrying Daniel Bryan out on a stretcher, and it's like, okay, that was quick, you know, like, is he done? And then, of course, if you read the news, you know that Shane McMahon had diverticulitis. I can't say.
That's exactly what he had.
Yeah, and so he was kind of banged up during the match,
and he had like a hernia surgery as well.
Umbilical hernia or something, I think they said.
Yeah. Obviously, we're really good at medical terms here on the Unknown Wrestling Podcast. We like wrestling, not medical terms.
Yes. Go to the Unknown Medical Podcast if you want to hear that.
Debuting next week on howdyinc.com. Because I need another podcast to do.
Like a hole in the head.
Absolutely. So, I mean, cool match, right?
Yeah.
It's not what I expected. I had on my card for Owens and Zayn to win. You did too. But, you know, Daniel Bryan got the win.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I was kind of thinking that, you know, they're not going to have him lose on his first match back.
Yeah. I did, though. I really thought they would.
Yeah, because of the old stipulation. Which the stipulation was if Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon won, that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were fired from SmackDown or WWE. I don't know how it was going to work.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
And I think a lot of us were kind of thinking that there was going to be a Daniel Bryan versus Shane McMahon kind of thing that happened, which I would have been. That's why I was okay with thinking that Daniel Bryan was going to lose, because I thought it was going to be because of stuff like that, and I thought that would have been a good way to go with it. So. But Daniel Bryan coming back, getting the humongous fucking pop that he got, and then winning the match. I mean, God, that had to feel amazing.
I love watching him get his pop. No doubt, so amazing.
Absolutely.
Everybody in the fucking audience just raising their fingers in the air.
One of the best pops, one of the coolest entrances now because of that. I can't imagine being one of the 78,000 people in that arena tonight, like doing the yes chant. Like, that had to just be an amazing feeling, and to be Daniel Bryan and to be the main cause of all of that, like, my God, the feeling that has to give that guy is just fucking cool, man.
So what do you think? Do you think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are gonna find a way to come back to SmackDown? Do you think they're gonna go to Raw? Do you think?
Well, I think we know that something is about to change with the brand split, maybe, because we've found out that the next pay-per-view, Backlash, which was originally scheduled to be a SmackDown pay-per-view, is no longer specifically a SmackDown pay-per-view. So I think something's going to happen there. Like, my wife said that she thinks that they're going to go to Raw, and I think maybe that's a good possibility of what they'll end up doing with it, which is cool, because, I mean, those guys... I mean, as much as SmackDown isn't the B show, it's the fucking B show, and Owens and Zayn both deserve to be on the A show, so that's how I see it.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's next?
After that, we had the Raw women's match, which should have came before the SmackDown women's match on the card. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Champion Alexa Bliss defending against Nia Jax. Your thoughts?
I thought it'd be more of a squash.
Yeah.
I thought that Nia Jax was just going to destroy her, which she kind of did.
Yeah. Who did you pick?
I had Nia Jax.
Okay, I had Alexa Bliss.
But Alexa had more offense than I thought she was going to have.
Yeah.
And, and then she beat the shit out of Mickie James.
Yeah.
So Nia Jax is the new Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, I don't think we said that, did we? Nia Jax won. I thought Alexa Bliss was going to win simply because I felt that both women's titles would not change hands, but I for sure thought Asuka was going to win the other one, but it ended up being flip-flopped. I was wrong on both of them. So, one women's title changed. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big Nia Jax fan, but I do really like Alexa Bliss, so I wanted her to win.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of either woman, honestly, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I
think Alexa Bliss is a good
she's a good
women's
heel,
for
definitely.
sure. Yeah.
And I like the finish. I like the Samoan drop off the second rope, which was
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
It was kind of a coup de grace, no pun intended, for Finn Balor's dumb move, but I digress.
So up next was Shinsuke Nakamura.
You always do that wrong.
I do. You say.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke. I got it closer than I normally
You do. You were Shinsuke.
Yeah,
last time.
I'm terrible at pronouncing this guy's name, and I feel like an asshole because of it. But I'll get it right one of these days.
We're gonna put a little post-it note on his screen that
That's
says
a great idea.
Shin,
Yeah.
and then just SKAY.
Okay,
Just,
right.
anyways,
I'll get it right next time. I promise. So he
doing
won.
a damn wrestling podcast, and you don't know the guy's name.
Hey, that's why I gave the disclaimer of I don't know everything.
Just kidding.
He won the Royal Rumble this year, the men's Royal Rumble. He won, so he got to fight whoever he wanted to fight for the belt, and he picked AJ Styles. And I mean, I think everybody kind of thought that this was going to be match of the night. Not everybody.
I thought it was.
Yeah, that was definitely a good feeling there. You got two fantastic, just actual wrestlers going at it, but I don't know, man. Maybe because it was later in the card and it was starting to die off by then, and I'm not sure exactly really what happened, but I didn't feel like it was. I don't think it lived up to the hype at all.
Yeah, it didn't get the reaction from the crowd like I thought it was going to.
No.
I think if it was, because they fought each other before in Japan, which
Yeah.
was like match, you know.
Yeah, like 5-star.
Yeah. This one, you know, I guess they tried to do
Definitely
this.
not 5-star.
Yeah. I like I said, I thought this was going to be match of the night. I wasn't really impressed with it.
No.
AJ Styles retained his belt.
Yeah,
and,
which is who I picked. I picked that one
I did too.
correctly.
and then Shinsuke turned on him and gave him a nut shot.
Yeah, which, I mean, I kind of liked that part because there was a few different times tonight where, like, the match ended in, like, the nice hug or handshake or whatever. And, like, they can't all end that way.
Right.
So at least this one was one that, like, it looked like it was going to be, but then instead somebody hit somebody in the balls. So
Yeah,
I wasn't disappointed with that finish, really.
And then he did his finisher, the Kinshasa.
Oh, yeah, that.
Um,
I'll totally try to pronounce that. So yeah, that was, I think, if we're going to give out a title of letdown of the night, it was that.
yeah, I agree.
And that's unfortunate.
So,
So next up is the match that wins the what the fuck moment of the weekend.
yeah.
Let's go back to talk about how the tag title division is kind of fucked up.
This is a good example of that, for
Yeah.
sure. It was Braun Strowman and a partner of his choosing versus Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar.
The Bar, who came into the match as the champion.
By the way, that's another thing I want to vent about.
Okay.
Having the champions come out first.
No doubt, man. It happened multiple
bullshit.
times tonight. Charlotte came out before Asuka. I was like, what the fuck? That don't make a goddamn bit of sense. And Charlotte had the better entrance over Asuka, too. I love Asuka's entrance,
Yes.
but she kind of had
And
her...
the whole 3D thing was.
Oh,
really
that
awesome.
was very cool, yeah. But I feel like Charlotte's was cooler. It was more of like a WrestleMania entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the goddamn champion. So regardless, she should be coming out second.
I agree.
But she had the better entrance because sometimes, like, I can kind of get on board. Like, if the other guy has a better entrance, then, like, maybe. But still, no.
I guess it's old school about me. I
It
like that
is.
the champion shouldn't come out last.
Yeah, always. That's always how it should be.
Unless you're
It
Stone
really
Cold,
should.
then he always came out last. But
Yeah. Well, yeah.
anyways, so this one was Braun Strowman and a mystery partner versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
On our scorecards, one of the things was who is Strowman's partner, and no one was an answer that you were allowed to put. And I think most of us at our WrestleMania party put no one, right? Did you?
I
put
had
that?
no one.
I had no one as well. I think we all kind of thought that Strowman was just going to come out and beat the shit out of both of them and win the tag team titles for himself.
Which he kind of did, but
then this was also me just kind of not watching enough of the build-up, but they mentioned during the match that he was told that he wasn't allowed to do that he had to have a partner. So I missed that, and therefore if I would have known that beforehand, then maybe I wouldn't have put no one on my thing, but I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So here's the twist to the plot. His partner was a 10-year-old boy fan named Nicholas. And he basically went out and said, all right, I'm picking one of you guys. And he pointed and he said, you. And he went out and got the kid. And he's like, what's your name? And the kid said, Nicholas. And he basically said, stand there and let me do all the work. And
yeah.
So, but the funny part about it was
fucking weird.
It was very weird.
Funny part about it
was that he actually tagged into the match.
Yeah. At one point, like, he stuck his hand out, like, I want to tag in.
Yeah, and then he tagged back out.
And Strowman tagged him in, and he, like, came through the ropes and came into the ring. And then, like, one of the other, I don't remember who it was, Cesaro or Sheamus or whatever, like, kind of started to go after the kid a little bit. And then the kid was like, okay, never mind, I'll get back out. So he tagged back out. So he was, like, an official part of the match at one point. I also have to throw out there that I hate Sheamus and Cesaro both. I hate both of them. I've hated both of them from the minute that they got into the WWE. I can't stand either one of them. But I really do like Braun Strowman a lot. I think he's a really good character.
I've tried to give Cesaro the chance, and I don't know. It just
I can't do it. I don't like either one of them. And then they came up with this tag team, and they put the two of them together, and I'm like, oh no. And then they became the champs, and it's like, God. I hate them. I hate both of them so much.
Segue. Now they're not the champs.
Now they're not the champs.
Lucky for you.
Braun Strowman and Nicholas are the fucking tag team champions.
Nicholas may be
a 10-year-old kid. Yeah, he is. He's the youngest champion in WWE history. This fucking kid is. Yes, he is. It's already like a thing, like all over the fucking place. This kid is. So who is this kid is what I kind of want to say. Like, he obviously wasn't just a fucking random kid in the audience. They can't do that, right? They can't just bring up some regular kid who stood on the apron during the match and didn't get knocked off the apron while the other like wrestlers hit the ropes.
You know what? And stuff. I wonder if it's a Make-A-Wish kid.
There was some talk on Twitter. Maybe it was a Make-A-Wish kid. Which, if it was, that does kind of change my mind of how it all went down. But that still doesn't change just how dumb of a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
But we were talking, like we were saying during our Mania party, was like that it's got to be somebody's kid, like maybe even Strowman's kid, or you know, just somebody's kid in the company that, because they've done kind of stuff like that before with kids.
So now you can't yell about WCW having David Arquette as
yes,
their champion.
Yes, I can. I can still fucking complain about David Arquette being a WCW champion.
Yeah, you can, but
I'll never stop complaining.
Pretty much
that.
Up there
it's
with it.
Definitely up there with that. So yeah, I mean they walked out up the ramp with this little kid holding his belt. He's a champ, man. And then commenced a bunch of funny memes on Twitter about there's an Amber Alert out for this little kid and shit. Oh no, my favorite one was like the kid standing there with like a total what the fuck look on his face, and the caption was, when you lie on your resume but you still get the job. That was my favorite one out of all of those that I read, because that one, I mean, it really looked perfect.
That's the fun thing about WrestleMania, because you got all these memes that are going to come out.
Yeah,
either the same night or the night after.
That totally adds to the fun of WrestleMania. Like when it really does.
WrestleMania 30, when Undertaker lost, like that
the
guy,
like, oh my god,
he was like everywhere.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, I love the memes that come from wrestling. The one I'm looking forward to the most is seeing more of is Cena running out of the arena. Like that'll end up being a fantastic meme.
All right, what's next?
So that was the match before the main event, is what that was.
Oh my god, do we have to cover this?
And well, hold on, but like we were talking during our party, like the last few years, like WWE has put on a really shit match before the main event of the night, and this was another example of a shit match that happened before the main event. I don't know why they do that, man. I don't know why they put a shit match on so late into the night. Why is that Why do they think that the formula for how they should set up a card includes a shit match before the biggest match on the biggest show of the year? What the fuck?
So was a shit match.
Yeah, and well, we knew that that was going to be a shit match, so I'm not mad about that one.
We got to cover that one?
Yeah, we do. The second to the last match should have been fucking Charlotte and Asuka. That's where that match should have fallen on this card. They should have put that match over more than what they did. Excuse me. Main event time.
Oh, God.
Roman Reigns going against Brock Lesnar. Lesnar's the champ.
That surprised me.
Fuck both of these guys.
Yes.
I mean, right? Yeah, just fuck both of these guys. Especially fuck Roman Reigns for you, right?
Yes.
And especially fuck Brock Lesnar.
I don't
me.
like Brock Lesnar either.
Yeah, I don't like Roman Reigns either.
Right.
But we have our specific one of who we hate more. I hate both of them. And so the big thing was that Lesnar is done with wrestling. He's going back to UFC. Good fucking riddance. Get the fuck out of here. You part-time, non-wrestling, just piece of shit. I hate everything that there is about Brock Lesnar.
I do too.
And I hate that one of my all-time favorite personalities in wrestling, Paul Heyman, is associated with him. Because I love Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is so goddamn good. But I hate that he was with Lesnar. I hate it. I hate it.
Lesnar don't talk.
Yep.
Which is stupid.
Yep.
Lesnar does 3 fucking moves.
Yep. This
Ran
match,
over and over and over again.
This match was so fucking terrible because of the amount of moves, really, that both of the guys do. But Lesnar is just so boring with his stupid fucking suplexes, and that, I mean, it's just, there's nothing entertaining about it. We've seen it all. There's nothing new.
Oh, I'm sorry. He did 4 moves. He did a German suplex. He did a belly-to-belly suplex.
Yeah.
He did the F5, and then he did the stupid elbow to the face, which
which
made him fucking bleed all over.
Busted him wide the fuck open. Which right before that, the crowd, what were they chanting? This is awful.
Yes, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, how can you put on? It's WrestleMania. It's goddamn WrestleMania, and there's. I mean, not everybody in the crowd was chanting it. It wasn't even a really strong chant. It was a weaker chant. But you got people in your crowd during your main event at your biggest goddamn show of the year, and this is awful. Like, I mean, you've got to do something better with your show so that your fans aren't chanting something so terrible during your main event.
I agree.
But we knew it was going to be. I mean, once these two were put together, the only positive thing about these two guys being put together, I said when they announced it, was at least these two guys aren't in 2 separate matches, because they would have ruined 2 matches if they were in separate matches. So at least they only ruined 1 match by being put together. Terrible match. We all assumed that Brock Lesnar was going to lose because he's going to UFC, and the WWE fucking loves Roman Reigns. I picked Roman Reigns.
I picked Roman Reigns as well.
And we both fucking lost because Lesnar retained the goddamn title. It was awful. There was nothing entertaining other than Roman Reigns bleeding in this match.
I enjoyed that because I hate Roman Reigns.
But. And he really was bleeding like crazy too.
Oh my God,
like he was gushing blood. It was a big cut for sure. I mean that was it. I don't care anything else. That was a terrible match. Terrible way to end the show.
So we should just talk about, what was there, 6 fucking German, or no, 4, no, there were 6 German suplexes, like 4 Superman punches.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 spears. There was like 5 F5s.
Yeah.
That was all the fucking
it.
match.
That's
that was
it. That's it.
It was bullshit.
Terrible match. Terrible main event. Terrible way to end WrestleMania.
And
we all sit there and we're all tired at the end of the night. We've got people in the house that are ready to fucking leave because they've got to drive home and they've got to work in the morning. But we all want to stay and we all want to finish it. We've dedicated 7 fucking hours of our lives at this point.
And $5 a piece.
And $5 a piece for our little WrestleMania scorecard prediction dealy. And so we all want to know what happens at the end. But we all know, like, going into it, like, we could stop before this match starts and not miss out on anything. But unfortunately, they don't deliver with their damn main event. The main event was the same way last year with Lesnar. So at least he's leaving. That's the only positive here is that
Can he
he's.
take Roman Reigns with him?
I hope so. Roman Reigns should start fighting in the UFC.
I hate the fact that WWE throws him down our fucking throat because fucking Vince McMahon is on his nuts about everything. Oh, why don't you just make him a heel? No, he should be a bad guy so
Yeah.
everybody can love him. No, everybody fucking boos him
Right.
because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, people just don't like him. He's not over one way or another. They just don't like him. That's it.
I hate his moves. I hate his music. I hate his fucking stupid uniform, whatever.
I do too. He looks like an
The
idiot.
Superman punch is fucking dumb.
Yeah, I hate it. It's a terrible move. So Taggart doesn't like Roman Reigns, and that will be a future episode.
We're gonna,
of the Unknown
that's gonna
Wrestling
be.
Podcast.
I'm
We're
gonna
do-
go on a tangent about Roman Reigns. You probably go on about John Cena.
Yep, that'll be a great show.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, people like listening to wrestling podcast about people bitching about wrestling. I hope that's something that they enjoy because we are going to fucking deliver on that. I think.
We don't have an agenda, so we're not gonna hold that.
Yep.
They're not paying us. They're not
Yep.
on our nuts. So.
Yep. I'm not going to not get somebody on the show because I talked shit about them previously. Like, there's not going to be like, oh, Brock Lesnar won't do your show now because you talked shit about him. Oh, well. We don't, obviously, that's not something that's going to happen with us. So, we can talk all the shit we want.
Exactly.
So, that was Mania, man. That was it. So, let's see. What's
Scale of 1 to 10. What do you think?
Scale of 1 to 10. What was, let's see. Scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give it, god damn, that's hard. Because, I don't want to give it too high,
Yeah.
but I don't want to give it too low either. I mean, I didn't, really dislike it. Like, there has definitely been worse WrestleManias.
Absolutely.
And previous, and within the last few years. I don't know, 6 is kind of the first number that's coming to my head.
I was gonna say 4, but I think that was too low because
Yeah.
like you said, there were some spots that I did like. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say 6 as well.
6 and 5 is kind of where I was going. I kind of felt maybe 5 was too low, but I don't know. 5 or 6 is where I'm at.
I think NXT topped it for sure.
Absolutely. All right, so let's. We got one more segment for you here. We're gonna kind of give you our favorites of the weekend. So let's get to that.
Did a little fart on that.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast. It's totally didn't mean to.
I'm holding back, taking a shit. I got a shit. See, only the live stream knows I got a shit.
And I
It's
farted.
because of all the fucking beer I've drank this weekend, man.
God, don't even get me started.
God, Mania weekend. We podcasted 3 fucking nights in a row. It's been a really long weekend. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. However, I got somebody to work for me in the morning, so I don't have to work my day shift tomorrow. But that means I'll lose out on a little bit of money. But I was like, you know what? I'd like to sleep in and not work a double the day on Monday after this long ass weekend. So
Lucky. Well, my shift don't start till 2:30, so
yeah,
I'm kind of lucky there. I get a little time to sleep in.
yep. This guy's lived at my house since Friday night.
Yeah, this is the same clothes I've had on for 3 days straight, and I haven't showered.
Should have gave you another shirt or something.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh well.
Well,
You
you
don't
just get
smell. So
Yeah, I get this done. I'm gonna go home and
are you going home tonight?
yeah,
Okay.
I got a DJ in the morning,
Gotcha.
10 o'clock.
Right on. All right, so we've got match of the night weekend, outro. Maybe we can combine those. I don't want to take another break.
Okay,
Let's combine those.
sounds good to me.
All right. All right, that's what Mania was. So I gave it I give it 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Your
6.
final score 6. All right, we agree on that. All right, so let's go. I want to go match of the night. I want to go your favorite match of WrestleMania 34, and I want to know what your favorite match of the entire weekend was. So including the indie shows we watched, including the NXT show we watched. So 2 separate match of the nights. Which one do you want to start with? Match of the weekend or match of Mania?
Let's do match of the weekend first.
Match of the weekend first. What's your pick for match of the weekend?
I'm gonna have to say Gargano and Ciampa.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes, for sure.
Because that match was just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
I can't wait to watch that match again.
Yes.
Like that's one that I'm like, I will for sure be. I'll probably watch that match again tomorrow. I love that match.
And then for tonight,
Match of Mania, match of WrestleMania 34, your very favorite match of WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Definitely the Nicholas match. No, definitely not the Nicholas.
It was. I liked it. It was kind of funny. Shit, I don't know, dude.
All right, well, you keep thinking. I'll give mine.
Okay.
My favorite match of the night was the Ronda Rousey match. I think that was, to me, that was hands down the most entertaining match. Like, definitely not like the best, technical wrestling match like we thought we were going to get out of the AJ Styles match, but like, just entertaining. Like, I feel like everything, they couldn't have done that match any better. I really don't think they did. Could have. So that was my favorite match. Was the Rousey fight.
I think I'm gonna say Charlotte versus Asuka.
Okay.
That was a damn.
I
good
know
match.
my co-host of Howdy Radio, The Next Generation, Lane. I know that was his prediction for match of the night was that match. That was, and I agree. That was a very, very good match.
I mean, I can see your standpoint by it though, because like yours is got the hype, Ronda Rousey, and
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't think it was going to live up to the hype.
I didn't either, honestly.
I didn't think so at all. So that's kind of what made me so excited about it, was that there was so much hype and that they did deliver on that hype.
I like the storyline with the Charlotte Flair versus Asuka match. You know, champion versus streak.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing too is we all had Asuka to win.
Every
and
single one of us.
None of us got it right.
None of us.
So.
I can't imagine. I'm sure there was a few people out there that thought that Charlotte was going to win, but I'm sure that most people out there thought Asuka was going to win.
Right, well,
Should have been the second to the last match, man. That's what they should have had before the main event. And they could have even done even more with it than what they did if they would have put it in a better.
I'm just glad Flow
slot.
Rider wasn't there this year.
Yeah, no shit. But Kid Rock, well, I mean, he actually wasn't a part of the show other than his music, but fuck Kid Rock. Just throw that out there real quick. Fuck Kid Rock.
Could have gone without his music too, but
Yeah, I got so tired of hearing
it's the
that.
same one from 30.
Yeah. How
Same-
fucking lazy.
Yeah.
And fuck Kid Rock. So that was,
I like the NXT music better.
yeah. I liked everything about NXT. And if you want to go show of the weekend out of everything that we watched, I mean, obviously it was the NXT show. I mean, it definitely, it blew away WrestleMania. I mean, it was I had so much fun watching that NXT show from start to finish, from the very start to the very end. It was highly entertaining all the way through.
Come to Cincinnati sometime. We should go.
They just came to Indianapolis a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I didn't know about it until it was happening. And one of my friends on Facebook, like, she posted, "Oh, I'm at NXT." And I'm like, well, damn, I didn't even know that they were coming.
Yeah. So what did you say yours was for the weekend? I kind of spaced out.
I agree with you on the NXT match. Yep. That match was so damn good.
All right. So what was your final score on the scorecard provided by PW Scorecards on Twitter?
Yep, so check out at PW Scorecards on Twitter for sure, and then you can download the same cards that we're doing, and everybody that's listening or watching, like, you'll totally understand what we're talking about here with these
And this
scorecards.
isn't a paid plug, but they
No,
have
not
a
at all.
Patreon account, and if you
Yeah.
want to help out and give them just $1, that'll
Yeah.
help out a tremendous.
Absolutely, I gave to their Patreon tonight. I was happy to give them.
We've used their
some money.
scorecards quite a bit.
We've been using them a lot lately, and yeah, this is not like a paid plug. It's not nothing whatsoever. These dudes they do good work.
Absolutely.
They tweet out all of the results, because like some of these they're like, how many suplexes in this match, or how many Superman punches in this match. And sometimes, because we all fill out the scorecards, sometimes we do keep track, especially my wife. Like, she is.
And they're so clean.
Yeah, they're beautifully put together. They're great scorecards. But you don't have to keep track of, like, those certain things, because as soon as the match is over, they tweet out, like, this guy beat this guy by pinfall with this many punches or this many whatever.
Right.
They just do such a damn good job, and it makes watching the pay-per-views even more fun, because we get to compete with each other, and that's cool. So what we are doing here with the Unknown Wrestling Podcast, this is our first episode. This is our first scorecard on the show. there's points for all of this. Out of on the WrestleMania show, there was a possibility of 302 points. So, but we're gonna keep a running tally going. We're gonna compete at each pay-per-view as we have been doing and see who wins. But we're also going to keep an entire 1 year from today, from this pay-per-view, a 1 year running tally of these scorecards, and have like a big, like one, big grand champion, the Unknown Wrestling Podcast prediction champion or something like that. So as we keep going through these shows, we will keep adding to these points, and we will keep updating these points. So we encourage you to download these cards as well, because we'll kind of all be on the same page then. Yeah. And they're super fun. So
we'll give out our Twitters at the end of the show, and then you
yes.
guys can tweet us what yours was, and
yes.
tweet them, and it'll
yes.
be all sorts of fun.
Absolutely. So out of 302 possible points for WrestleMania 34, I did pretty terrible on this card. I only had 1, 2, 3, 4. I only had 5 matches where I picked the correct winner. How many did you have?
I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow. So yeah. And we'll give all of those totals on the next episode of Howdy Radio: The Next Generation with Lane also. So out of 302 possible points, I had a whopping 109 points.
I didn't do too much better. I had 140.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty solid score, though.
Yes.
These guys tweet out, like these guys that do these cards, like they tweet out like their numbers and stuff too, but I didn't get a chance to see like how we did in comparison to them. Because though the last one, that Elimination Chamber, like I did really well on that one though. And like they tweeted out theirs, and I kicked their asses. Like all the guys that did the card, like I did better than they did on that one, but I'm guessing not so much tonight.
I did better on this one than the NXT one for sure.
Yeah, I didn't do too good on NXT. I just wasn't. I didn't.
Lane beat me on the NXT.
Yeah, Lane was the
like
winner of
3
that
points.
one. Yeah. So I wasn't too happy with this one, but we'll keep adding to these points as we go for a whole year, like I was saying. So I know that I will come back and win, of course.
Hashtag Team Brian.
But there you go. But congrats as far as it goes. WrestleMania, winning WrestleMania is obviously a big deal. And this is actually your second WrestleMania win in a row on these scorecards, right?
2-time champion.
That is, I mean, I can't fuck with that. That's pretty.
I won the
pretty
Rumble
awesome.
too.
Yeah, you did. Damn. But that's different. That's not a scorecard win. Or did you win the scorecard also?
I didn't win the scorecard. I won the other game, which
You
we'll
won
tell them sometime.
our bet game, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do with the scorecards for tonight. We don't do it every month with the scorecards, but we do with WrestleMania. We all throw in $5, and then whoever has the highest point total at the end of the night on the scorecard takes the pot. So I think our pot was $35 tonight, and Taggart here won with his 140 points. Who was in second? I think you considerably beat all of us.
I think so too.
Yeah. Nice job.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So is that it? Do we have anything else?
We're gonna do the scorecards every pay-per-view, but we won't probably bet on every one. Maybe we'll do like the main 4.
Yeah, the big 4. $5 on the big 4.
Yeah.
Yep, because we do our Royal Rumble bet, which we'll talk about. So I think that's kind of it for this one, right?
I think so too.
All right, so before we get into our plugs for our social media, I really wanted to throw out real quick, I wanted to thank a couple of the other Howdy Inc. guys that do podcasts with us and have done podcasts with us in the past. It's been my friends for a long time. We have the Unknown Wrestling Podcast logo that was done by my buddy Kyle, also known as Keezy. Keezy.com is where you can find him, and he runs a podcast called Iconoclash, which is really good, and he's much better at Photoshop than I am, so I asked him if he'd come up with a logo for us, and he did, and he gave it to us, and I love it. So you'll see it on all of our stuff. So I just wanted to thank him for doing that. And then the intro that you heard at the very beginning of the show is my buddy Scott, who is one of the hosts from the Unknown podcast. And I think he also knocked that out of the park. I really enjoy our intro
I agree.
because we didn't want either one of us to be the one introing us, so we had to ask somebody else to do it. And don't tell anybody, but Scott is actually not a wrestling fan. But so I was kind of nervous when I asked him. I was like, I need you to make this all wrestling sounding. But he did a great job. He did a really good job. So thanks to Kyle and thanks to Scott for contributing to what we got going on here.
Follow them at Special Keezy and at the Garbage Bin
On the Twitters.
on the Twitters.
So you can find us on social media. You can find me at Captain Howdy 1027, CAPTHOWDY 1027 on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at tags TAGS78 at Twitter and Instagram.
Right on. And then
You
Howdy.
can follow the show on Instagram
Yep.
at Unknown Wrestling Pod.
No, on Twitter it is UW Pod.
I mean Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. Sorry. Yeah. What is the Instagram?
I
You've
think
got
it's Unknown Wrestling Pod. I just set it up like the
Yeah.
other day, so.
And then on Twitter, it is at UW
UW
Pod. Unknown Wrestling Podcast was too long, so we had to come up with something else. So UW Pod is where we're at on Twitter. Our website is Unknown Wrestling Podcast, or you can find all of this stuff on howdyinc.com, HOWDYINC.com. That's kind of our main, like, big company type thing that runs all of these. We have 3 different podcasts. If you're not familiar with the other stuff we do this, we do the Unknown Podcast, and we do Howdy Radio, and all of that stuff can be found on howdyinc.com. That's kind of the main hub for all of this stuff.
Absolutely.
That's it. Anything else?
I think that's it.
I think that was a pretty awesome first episode. That
I
was
agree.
awesome. And it is after 2 o'clock in the morning, so it is well past my bedtime. So go to all of those things that we just said. Howdyinc.com. Boom. Go there. Done. All right. That's it.
Have a good one.
We'll figure out our outro here later. Oh, yeah. All right. I will piece all of those together in the morning. It'll probably take a couple days to get it on the internet because it will have to be approved by iTunes. I tried to do like a backdoor way to get approved by iTunes. I tried to do just like this little like 10-second thing I recorded that said like the Unknown Wrestling Podcast coming soon. And I submitted that, but it didn't work. So it'll probably be a couple days before it shows up. I'm going to hold on to these.
Okay.
I want to keep ours for a year. That'll be
I
fun.
just took a picture of mine. I'm going to put it on the Instagram.
Oh, cool. Good idea. All right.
Let's see, hashtag WrestleMania.
The live stream worked the entire time, so that's pretty cool. I'm glad about that.
Are they on Instagram? PW scorecards?
I don't know. I've never looked.
Yes, they are.
Nice.